Did you cover Elon backpedaling for the Zuckerberg fight? I haven't been paying close attention. What's the latest on it? I know Elon posted about it and he said, we're going to honor Italy with this fight or something, both past and modern Italy. And then nothing else came of it, right? And I think Mark Zuckerberg basically said, look, I've been training nonstop. Just don't trust anything that Elon says. Elon Musk is pussing out by not wanting to use UFC, but Zuck wants to use UFC. Is that what it is? Is there like a explainer on this? I can't even fucking see these goddamn images. An explainer that's not on Twitter, hopefully, and not with like Twitter images, because again, Twitter images are currently not working. They're not loading for some reason because the website sucks. Zuckerberg's position seems to be frothing at the mouth. I mean, I understand. Wait, oh, Moist made a video of it. Hold on. Here, I'll just use that as a placeholder, and instead of fucking Charlie posted a video. This will never happen.
When it comes to making predictions, I'm wrong more often than a March Madness bracket. If I was a meteorologist, they would have me publicly executed at the town square while people throw tomatoes at me. I'm gonna go pee real quick as well, because I would legitimately never predict the weather correctly. And I almost think that that's more impressive, the fact that I can't even accidentally get a prediction right. But that doesn't mean that I don't like to keep trying, so that's what I'm doing today. I may be 0 for 100 on predictions, but we're about to change that. The curse will be lifted. Statistically, you gotta get one right eventually, and this is my one. I know for a fact Elon Musk will never fight Mark Zuckerberg in a real fight. Now, maybe they get together in the octagon and play a game of patty cake or a little slap boxing with headgear like it's straight out of SpongeBob karate episode or something, but they will never actually have a fight. For those that don't know, for the last couple months, Elon Musk and Zuckerberg has been posturing that they're going to fight each other, like in a legitimate fight. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I think this is all just publicity and attention because Elon Musk loves attention. He feeds on that more than a plant feeds on sunlight. Elon Musk photosynthesizes attention the same way plants do. It's how he lives. So I think that's the actual motivation here, is just to keep his name in people's mouths. Because there is no way he has ever thrown a punch in his life. His body is built like a tub of mayonnaise. It looks like he's smuggling 6 bowling balls in his torso. I don't think his confusing body geometry would even allow for him to throw a punch. It'd be like trying to stretch a wet spaghetti noodle. There's no way he's ever trained, nor ever even thrown a punch at a punching bag, I don't think. So this would just be a ridiculous fight to take because Mark Zuckerberg, the fucking goofy soulless android straight out of Skynet, actively trains in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and actually just won a gold and silver medal in a Jiu-Jitsu tournament a month ago, which initially that headline didn't impress.
He trained in the metaverse? He absolutely did not train in the metaverse. He absolutely did fucking train in the real verse, in the universe. He's peeled. He's peeled. You have to respect it. I hate that like Mark Zuckerberg, who's a horrifying lizard person and a monster, was able to genuinely do something that that most human beings would look at and respect. I hate to give it to him. Not only did he do it right, but also on top of that, he set his targets on the only other billionaire that is just as annoying, if not worse, than he is. Elon Musk. That's the difference. And now he has, in a very clever way, created a universe where even someone like myself would be championing him. Like, I think it's great. I want him to rip eyeballs out of his sockets, okay? I want him to fucking go for the throat. I want him to do permanent damage. Winner gets all the data stolen from social media users. I think they're going to keep doing that. It's great. Rarely ever, listen. Rarely do you ever get the Roman upper crust fighting in the Colosseum, okay, in a gladiator battle. It's usually peasants, slaves, you know, former champions that were enslaved after conquest. It's never the actual, you know, grape-eating, slave-having, concubine-having emperors that actually go out there and duke it out. And I want to see that really fucking bad. And anyone that says that they don't want to see it is lying, okay? Straight up. Who wouldn't want to see that? Especially because both sides have different advantages, okay? Mark Zuckerberg is actually in shape and has been training a lot. Elon Musk, on the other hand, has not been training at all and is in horrifyingly bad shape, has like the craziest chest you've ever seen. And I don't mean like in a sexy way. I mean like he just has like a massive barrel chest. His balance is all fucked up. Looks like a goddamn tub of mayo. And on top of that, he has no cardio whatsoever. So the situation is, well, I mean, let me talk about his pros though in this situation, because he is a lot heavier, right? He is a lot heavier. Here's a highlight video of Mark Zuckerberg and I training jiu-jitsu. I look forward to training with Elon Musk as well. This is Lex Fridman's universe, dude. This is like the happiest he will ever be. Just grappling with like billionaire lizard people. Oh my God, he looks so happy.
Nice, Mark. There it is.
Didn't he also do one with Elon as well? Where's the one with Elon? The thing is, I don't know shit about fucking Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Let's be real, okay? I don't know anything about it. Okay, looks kind of gay to me. You know, good on them. Pretty sure he also trained with Elon Musk. They didn't upload those videos. I wonder why. I wonder what that says about Elon Musk's skills in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. Okay? So, I think the advantage that Elon Musk has over Dick Zuckerberg is that he is, he's a lot fatter. He's got a lot more weight. I don't know how that works in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't know if they're training and they're going to fight in MMA. I don't know what the battle is, like what the battle boundaries are going to be. Right? Like, is it no holds barred? Are they doing mixed martial arts? So like BJJ is allowed and so is stand-up fighting. Because there are certainly areas where Elon Musk could potentially get a like a lucky jab or something
Mark
like that.
Zuckerberg.
If they're doing like a stand-up fight, you know what I mean? Weight does mean a little bit in fights. That's why there are weight classes. However, the one thing that doesn't matter, okay, the one thing that does not matter is if one side is just not trained at all and the other side is pretty well trained. Does that make sense? I also don't know what the like what the rules are. I don't know what kind of fight they're going to be engaging in.
Zuckerberg versus Elon Musk will not be close. The internet has broke these past couple of weeks with rumors of a super fight in the cage between two tech giants, Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk. This fight first sparked when Elon Musk tweeted, "I'm up for a cage match if he is LO."
Which is so dumb. It's so fucking dumb. Why? He's the one who goated it. It's so stupid. You're such an idiot, dude. Of course you were going to chicken out.
Well, in response to a potential meta project called Threads that seeks to rival Twitter. Mark would respond on his Instagram story with the words, "Send me location," and when this got to Twitter, Elon would respond with, "If this is real, I will do it," 2 fire emojis. And from here, all hell would break loose. Playful jabs over Twitter.
I'm going to be honest. If I'm Mark Zuckerberg, I'm using this till the end of time. I'm just constantly shitting on Elon. Send me location is a classic Khabib line. Yes, exactly. That's what he did, which was kind of cool. And I hate to admit that because I hate both of these fucking clowns. Oh my God. It's like the classic Joe Rogan sentiment, which is mixed martial arts will actually develop person skills and also give you like real confidence in the real world. It has happened to this android of a human. Okay. He started training really fucking hard. He fixed his body up. He now has like, he now comes across like a normal human being, which I hate. I hate that. This is making Zuck look like a human being a little bit. When paired up with Elon Musk, all of a sudden, you're like, well, okay, Mark Zuckerberg, definitely, I'm rooting for him. Like, I want him to rip his dick off and twist it.
And Instagram soon evolved into an actual fight event with talks of Dana White hosting the event under the UFC
I love he's licking his lips like, yeah.
banner in an MMA cage, and based on his TMZ interview, he seems completely serious about setting up this fight in an actual UFC card. John Jones even tweeted that he would help train Mark Zuckerberg, and in response, GSP said he would be helping Elon in his corner. And in a recent pic posted by Lex Friedman, it shows Elon potentially training alongside GSP and legendary coach John Danaher. Additionally, there's been rumors of the Italian government even trying to get this fight in the fucking Coliseum. And as much as I would love to see this fight actually be made, if this fight were to actually happen, it would not.
Yeah, it's not great because the AI image that they're using of Elon Musk is of a much younger Elon Musk who doesn't look like that. And the AI image that they're using of Mark Zuckerberg is also a Mark Zuckerberg that doesn't... Wait, but they kind of look like one another in the AI image. What the fuck's going on? That picture of Elon is like 20 years old, man. Like, he doesn't look like that no more. Also, why does Mark kind of look like Elon a little bit? It's weird.
Not be close, and here's why.
Mark
So starting off this breakdown, let's go over the basic physicals. Just to note, most of these numbers are just estimates of what I could find on the internet, so it could be more or could be less. Mark Zuckerberg is 39 years old, stands at about 5'7", and weighs at about 155 pounds, and his reach is unknown. Elon Musk is 52 and towers over Mark in comparison, standing at 6'2" and weighing around 200 pounds.
This is why I said the stand-up portion of the fight could go either way, in either direction. That's why I don't know if it's like a straight BJJ fight or if it's like his weight is not just over 200 pounds. He's like at least 260, okay? Maybe 250. I'm sorry. The idea that Elon is anywhere near 200 pounds is fucking silly. I'm 6'4", 245 pounds, and I have a fuck ton more muscle mass than this fucking goon, okay? No shot. That dude is all... He said he's 300. Elon Musk says he weighs 300 pounds, and if the Zuckerberg cage match becomes a long fight, Zuck will win on endurance. The only aspect of this fight is if I don't know how well or how much Dick Zuckerberg has trained on striking, but Elon does have a reach advantage. That is the reason why I think it's a little. Elon will absolutely have a reach advantage, and he absolutely has a weight advantage. So depending on how good Zucker is, because the only thing we know about Dick Zuckerberg is that he's very good at BJJ. You know? That's the only thing we know. That he's actually pretty decent at BJJ, right? But we don't know how good he is at striking. And BJJ is you know, you need to, like, if you're doing mixed martial arts, and if it's not just like a straight jiu-jitsu fight, obviously in that situation, the stand-up portion is going to be really interesting. Almost all MMA fights go to the ground at some point. Yeah, except I don't think either of these dudes know how to take a punch. That's number one. So the person with the reach advantage and the person with the weight advantage could absolutely thrive with something lucky. He opens up with like a lucky ass fucking strike, and the situation could be very different. Ultimately, though, if it goes to the ground, I think Dick Zuckerberg will cook him. Okay, I don't think Elon has knockout power or anything like that. But it's not like these guys aren't super well trained fighters, I assume.
Pounds based on these shirtless pics. So if you're not a fight fan, you would probably see these stats and say Elon should be able to dominate Mark based on the sheer size difference. But I'm here to argue it's going to be the other way around despite such a large height and weight difference. Now, if we get into the MMA experience of both men, Mark Zuckerberg's MMA experience is much more advanced than Elon, who practically has no training. About 9 months ago, Mark Zuckerberg posted some clips of him doing MMA training and even did a little promotional video of Metaverse where he fought Alexander Volkanovski, and I have to admit, he looks very good based on these videos. Though he says he's a beginner, his striking is not bad. It's definitely tight and you can tell he's a beginner, but he has decent form for his punches and he turns his hips when hitting his low kick. But what really impressed me was his jiu-jitsu. From podcasts, I think Mark has been training purely in jiu-jitsu for over a year and possibly months before he got into MMA training. And also a couple weeks before this, news broke that Mark legitimately won a jiu-jitsu tournament, and from videos of his training, it definitely looks like he's past the beginner stage of jiu-jitsu and knows what he's doing. And I haven't even mentioned that he could do this. I think the first 10 minutes or so of his interview with Lex Fridman in his second appearance gives great insight into his understanding of jiu-jitsu and MMA in general.
This motherfucker put legs in the metaverse specifically so he could do this fight sequence.
But essentially, he has recognized the initial difficulty of learning a martial art and how he had to fail several times before succeeding. And I think his use of semi-location just shows he is truly a fan of mixed martial arts. This is in sharp contrast to Elon Musk's training and MMA thinking or lack.
Zuck is likely getting exclusively privately trained too, so his growth might be faster than normal for your physicality. I don't think so. Let me tell you why. Okay? I don't think Elon Musk is actually training for this. I'm not even kidding. Elon Musk has never underpromised and overperformed. He has only, throughout his career, if you look at every single aspect of his life, he has only overpromised and underperformed. And he's never been punished for it. Okay? He's never done the opposite. There's never been a moment where he's like, oh yeah, I'm actually really bad. And then like it turns out he's really fucking good. That has never happened. So judging by his Twitter fingers versus or looking at his past record on this, I do not believe even for a moment that he is actually putting in the time and effort necessary to learn mixed martial arts and to have a level of proficiency that will allow him to not look like a fucking clown ass when he's in the octagon. There's no shot. No amount of steroids and working out is going to get you there when you gas out in the first 30 seconds of high intensity cardiovascular activity. A lot of people do not understand this. A lot of people who have never done anything that is like super high intensity recognize how incredible your cardio needs to be and how very different your cardio needs to be in order to fight. Okay? People don't realize it. You are going to get winded in the first 10 seconds of the octagon. Your adrenaline is surging. Okay? You are terrified. Your heart is pumping out of your mouth. You can fucking feel it. Okay? The amount of cardio necessary for boxing, for any kind of stand-up fighting, or especially for mixed martial arts, is insanely high. Okay? If you've never done any of that, you will never understand it. It's technique for the most part, A lot of fighting is technique and also cardio. Elon has neither. Mark Zuckerberg, on the other hand, has both, over Elon especially. So it just does not look good for Elon at all. And it's not something that he can like learn in a short period of time either. I just don't think that, he can like, upload that to the fucking Neuralink. Okay. It's just not something you can learn in a short period of time at the age of 52 is what I'm saying. Like when you think about what Mark Zuckerberg has done, one, much younger than Elon, two, has been training consistently for probably a year plus, maybe even longer than that. Like, that regimen and the way that Mark Zuckerberg has been able to achieve such impressive feats in BJJ over such a short period of time can only be done, at that age especially, can only be done by someone who is a billionaire, okay? Or someone who at least is like a multimillionaire with a lot of fucking free time. You can't even do that. You can't even do what Mark Zuckerberg is doing, okay? Even that is like not accessible to the average person unless they're like 20 years old and just starting out or some shit. Because there's recovery. There's also muscle mass that you need to build. A lot of these moves are not super easy to pull off. You need to start getting your body ready, getting your body used to moving a certain way. So I don't think anyone who has even a like novice understanding of mixed martial arts would ever fucking look at this matchup and think like Elon is going to come across the victor, unless in the stand-up portion Elon is able to somehow catch Mark Zuckerberg in a really, really lucky hit. You know what I mean? Because I don't think Mark Zuckerberg is probably that good at taking punches. I would assume his level of Brazilian jiu-jitsu is great, but his level of his level of like striking and defending defending himself from strikes, like it's probably not that good. Am lifting weights throughout the day, preparing for the fight. Don't have time to work out, so I just bring them to work. Elon, what is the point of the fight? Is it to motivate you to work out? It's a civilized form of war. Men love war. Brutal honesty. Do you think you can 1v1 the Zuck? Fuck no. No, I'm not a trained fighter, chat. I've told you guys this so many times. If you are actually someone who's training for fighting, you will probably cook me. Most people will probably cook me, especially if you've like competed at any level. You are in good shape though. Okay. I am not Bradley Martin. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that just because I'm a fucking big dude who is physically fit, that means that I can easily destroy many people unless I train. It's a very different ball game. Okay? If you train specifically for fighting, think about it this way. Okay? I'm a firm believer that if you have strong enough willpower and can engage in repetition, you can master anything you want to master, regardless of what age you're in. Okay, I do believe that. Obviously, you need a fuck ton of free time to be able to do that. You need a lot of money to be able to do that. But you can. It's still achievable, right? It's not impossible. Okay, 100%. Like at the top of the hour, you can have experience to know that there's a 3-minute ad break coming. You can defensively posture against that by subscribing for $5 or free with a Twitch Prime, by connecting your Amazon Prime account through your Twitch account, where you get 1 free Prime subscription a month. When I trained BJJ as a newbie, I used to lift 415-pound deadlifts, and a skinny kid could still beat the shit out of me because of experience. Exactly. I mean, I think martial arts are sick. I think they're dope. I've only ever done like cardio kickboxing or cardio boxing. I've never actually done like serious fight training, okay? But something that I have always explained to people is that this is a real Baki line, actually. In the latest Baki, they talk about strength versus technique, okay? Towards the end of the season, which is really good, by the way. Pickle, the what is it? Neolithic man, okay? The caveman is pure strength. Baki is strength and technique, okay? So what does the 4,000-year Kung Fu guy say? He says, well, actually, no, it's not even him. It's the one that, it's the Yakuza guy who says at the end of their fight, he says the moment that Pickle uses a technique, he is technically lost because techniques were taught for the weak to fight the strong. If you are strong, you do not need technique. Baki is so dumb, but I love it, okay? Why do you watch Baki if you dislike people / characters that disrespect their parents? Because that level of disrespect is perfectly appropriate. Because he deserves it. What do you mean? The ogre deserves it. Elon has actually been training with some of the best technical fighters. They've described his unorthodox fighting style as Tesla style, adding that he's unpredictably explosive, doesn't know when to stop, so this fight will be interesting. So, anyway, the point is, technique is created specifically to outsmart the strong, to defeat the strong, and technique is king in a situation like this where there are boundaries. It's not like a fucking street fight. But even if it was a goddamn street fight, I think Elon would still get cooked because he's super out of shape.
Lack thereof. I don't know if Elon's thinking has changed since he's done a little training sessions in jiu-jitsu, but he has said in the past that he has a patented move called the walrus, in which he just lays on top of you and you can't really escape. But anyone with a little jiu-jitsu training knows that's a bullshit move and it's practically the first position you learn to escape from. With Elon's lack of MMA knowledge, I don't think he recognizes the difference in skill between he and Mark.
That's so funny. He says that. He would get choked so fucking fast, his head would start spinning, literally. Like, he would be out of breath, and he would probably get knocked the fuck out.
Zuckerberg, and I honestly think he thinks his size advantage will solely win him this fight. Now that we have their background established, let's break down the actual fight and modes to victory for both fighters. I think this is a classic smaller skilled guy versus the bigger unskilled guy. For Mark Zuckerberg, he just needs to keep doing what he's doing. He has a big head start when it comes to training, and really he just has to hone his skills against a specific target in Elon Musk. Mark has said in his Lex Fridman podcast that he's typically the smaller guy amongst his friends and training partners, so he's probably used to fighting guys that are much bigger than him, and he probably has techniques for going up against bigger guys, both striking and grappling wise. Considering Elon's game plan is probably going for the walrus, I would say escapes from the bottom are really big for Mark Zuckerberg. Mark could also even consider submissions from this position as well and transition into a triangle, which he could definitely pull off at this level of expertise. As for striking, I think movement is going to be a big factor in this fight for Mark. And considering his youth, size, and overall training, I would assume that Mark has the speed and movement advantage here, and he definitely needs to capitalize on this in the fight. Though we've only seen a few clips, I really like Mark's striking combinations that end in a really solid low kick, and I think that's a combo that would be very effective against Elon. Mark would be essentially chopping down a big South African tree with hard leg kicks to Elon's lead leg. This would further exploit the speed and movement advantage that Mark already has on Elon, and basically
I do think that I think that Elon Musk's legs would fucking blow out immediately, dude. Are you kidding me?
debilitate Elon, rendering him even slower. And from here, Mark Zuckerberg can do whatever he wants. He can light up Elon Musk, he can take him down. Essentially, he has a very slow target in front of him that gives him a lot of freedom to do practically everything he's trained for. And finally, another thing Mark should keep in mind is working the clinch. Elon is probably out of desperation going to clinch in this fight if Mark continues to strike in volume. I haven't really seen it from Mark from the little striking footage we have, but Mark could work elbows and knees whenever Elon goes for a more standing walrus approach. As for Elon, I wouldn't say this fight isn't absolutely impossible for him to win. He really just needs to train specifically to take full advantage of his size difference. This fight, if it were to happen, would probably happen by the end of this year, giving each fighter 3 to 6 months to train. And so that's a very short period of time for Elon to prepare. He really doesn't have time to train MMA traditionally. He really only has time to train for this fight specifically and train for tactics specifically designed for this fight. So what are those tactics? For one, the walrus isn't the...
No, he's not even... First of all, he's not even doing that, okay? They're just going to fix the fight and take the bag, or more likely it won't happen at all. No, it won't happen at all. There is no fixing the fight and taking the bag. What are you talking about? These two, both of them are fucking billionaires. If anything, this is like entirely about... This is not about money. This is about the one thing that you can't really get. This is the one thing you can't get with money.
Stupidest idea in the world. It just needs to be adjusted. Considering Mark has good jiu-jitsu, Elon again can't just get away with just laying on top of him. Elon has to learn how to get full mount or top control and basically lay on him and learn to use his weight correctly. A big thing Elon has to learn is where to place his legs and utilize them to control Mark from the top. He also has to be careful of not being in Mark's guard, as that's probably Mark's game and where Mark wants Elon to be, so escaping from guard is very important. As far as striking goes, straight punches go a long way for a longer fighter. Assuming Mark doesn't have Volkanovski type reach, I think it's safe to say Elon probably has a longer reach than Mark. For Elon, straight punches fully utilize his reach advantage, and all he really needs to throw is that jab and maybe a straight rear hand if he finds a good opening. Another thing he has to learn is circling on the outside, as Mark is definitely going to look to close the distance, so jabbing and circling around would be his best bet. Though I've shown Elon does have modes to victory, I think his probability of victory is very, very low. Mark Zuckerberg has a huge...
I love this. This fight is so stupid. Elon is distracting him with Twitter, SpaceX, etc. Mark has lost billions on Facebook. Brother, what has Elon lost? It's literally two tech billionaires that have lost a fuck ton, billions, on social media companies, competing social media companies. For that reason, it's hilarious. Yes. Dick Zuckerberg is awful, dumped a shit ton into the metaverse, which was a, abject failure. Elon bought Twitter for $44 billion, was forced to. And now we all have to live in that universe where, the absolute dumbest idiots have the biggest podium. Ya orada bir yerde ben de bilmiyorum nerede. I can't find it either. It sucks. Anyway, for real though, what was Elon's motive to ask for this? Mark sure as shit did not approach him first. Yeah, no, that's right. Elon is the one who actually was the one who was talking shit. He brought it up unprompted for no fucking reason. Which, at a certain point, we have to realize, like, no matter what happens, I think we always assume that, like, well, they're billionaires. They got to be, like, kind of smart. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're, making moves in a rational manner. And I think you just have to realize, like, no, they're not. Like, I don't think they are. I do not think that Elon Musk makes moves in a rational manner. I think that he is just, he's a fly-by-the-wire kind of guy who absolutely is just, like, just saying dumb shit, knowing full well that he's never suffered repercussions for any of the dumb shit that he's ever said. He actually gets benefits for it in the form of, like, Tesla stock going up no matter what. It has a long history of over-promising or just straight up lying, really. At a certain point, it's a lie. over promising and under delivering and never really reaping the repercussions of it. So I think he just kind of did that same thing, hoping that people would forget. And most people probably will forget. It would be so sick if it happened, though.
Head start in terms of MMA and being in shape in general that will make it hard for Elon to catch up from the state he is in now. Realistically, I see the fight going like this: Mark lighting him up on the feet, Elon going for the walrus, Mark escaping and gassing out Elon, and if Elon doesn't retire in his corner in the first round, Mark ends it by TKO by a barrage of strikes in the second. So what do you guys think? Do you have Elon or do you have Mark? Is this fight even going to be made? And I know this fight is, in the words of Dana White, a freak show fight, but I still want this fight to be made because it would show a wider audience.
Does anyone think Elon would win this? Like, anyone? Elon can't even fucking operate this goddamn website that was fine before he bought it. Like, I just don't think anyone thinks Elon will win.
Trust me, because I just assumed Zuckerberg went in there, opened his wallet, and paid everyone to just throw against him so he could feel good about himself. But there's footage of the event, and he is pretty solid. He is actually pretty talented. It's clear he takes it seriously. He's also just been training with experts as well to become better at it. So this is something that he's serious about. Meanwhile, the only thing Elon Musk is serious about is shit-tier memes. Like the crustiest, dankest memes ever that no one can even ironically laugh at. If this was a fighting game, Elon Musk would be in the unusable below F tier ranking. Meanwhile, Zuckerberg would be like C tier. So there's just no chance. Like, there's literally no chance Elon Musk would win this fight, and he knows it. Mark Zuckerberg would smoke his meat. Mark Zuckerberg would rip his fucking tongue out and lick his ass with it. Like, Elon Musk would truly get brutalized, I think. Even though Elon Musk definitely has some size on him, it doesn't matter, because there's no way Elon Musk can use his size unless he tries to do some kind of weird forbidden jutsu where he like oils himself up to get real slippery and like slides around and attacks him like that. Like, I don't know what else he could possibly do, because he doesn't train. He hasn't trained, and he won't train. So he's already planted the seeds of doubt. He made a tweet not too long ago talking about how he might need back surgery. So he's already like alluding to some excuses he could use to get out of this fight to weasel his way out. So I just don't see this fight happening. I really don't see this fight happening at all. But it hasn't stopped the hype train. Elon Musk keeps talking about how it's definitely going to happen, and he even makes like these bold claims about where it's happening and when. Meanwhile, Zuck on Threads, and also, God rest the soul of Threads, that didn't make it more than a month before it died. What a tragically fast demise that platform had. I don't know anyone that still uses Threads except for Zuck now. That's just like his quarantine zone, his containment unit. He just goes in there and speaks, and that's the only thing left on Threads. But anyway, Zuck made this post in response to all of the posts Elon had made about how the fight's, coming up pretty soon. Zuck said, "I love this sport and I've been ready to fight since the day Elon challenged me. If he ever agrees on an actual date, you'll hear it from me. Until then, please assume anything he says has not been agreed on." Which I 100% believe Mark Zuckerberg here, because Elon Musk does nothing but make false promises and just make shit up. Like the way Elon Musk talks.
Damn, bro. I mean, the normies use it as spoken, dude. The people are arriving at the same conclusion that we've had in this community for fucking years, that Elon Musk is just a charlatan con man who wouldn't be able to fight his way out of a paper bag.
Talks about it, you'd think the fight's happening this weekend. But meanwhile, there's not a single date that's been agreed upon or anything like that. So there's nothing confirmed here. It is still just a bunch of brouhaha, but I don't think it's ever happening. But it doesn't stop Elon Musk from puffing out his grotesque chest. He keeps making...
Megaphonics, if you send me that fucking random, irrelevant Elon Musk tweet one more fucking time, I'm going to put you on the next SpaceX rocket ship to Mars, okay? It's on screen already. Stop sending it. It's not irrelevant. It's literally on screen. Okay. Stop sending it. Stop spamming it. Okay? There you go. It's already on screen. Stop spamming it.
making statements like this. So this was in response to Mark Zuckerberg saying, just take everything he says with a grain of salt, but I'm ready to fight whenever. Elon Musk said, if Zuck wants my tongue, I guess. I don't really know what this emoji's supposed to mean. And now it just seems like he's more flirting than anything. So I'm having a hard time deducing these hieroglyphics here. I don't know why he's using that emoji in this fight context, but whatever. If Zuck wants my tongue, really wants a lesson in why there are weight categories and fighting so badly, I could just head over to his house next week and teach him a lesson he won't soon forget. Elon is legitimately a 14-year-old on Xbox Live trapped in the body of a 50-year-old grown man. It is incredible. Like, this is actual old Call of Duty lobby energy here. Elon would never actually fight Zuckerberg. That's what I truly believe. If he did, that would not go well, I imagine. I really do think Mark Zuckerberg would fuck him up. I really think Zuckerberg's got psychopath energy. That man's probably got so much pent-up rage from the colossal historic failure of the metaverse that this man is just looking for an excuse. And Elon Musk might be that excuse. I think he would just absolutely destroy in this billionaire beatdown against Musk. But once again, I don't think we'll ever know for sure because it's not going to happen. That is my prediction. I wanted to put it out here because sometimes
I like that Charlie's doing this. Because he started off by saying, I'm always wrong. Which means, looking at former trends, looking at past trends, maybe he's wrong on this as well. His predictions are always wrong. What if there was a fight? It's another one of those situations where I'm just like, dude, I don't think it'll happen, but it'd be so sick. It's like aliens. Aliens coming to planet Earth. I don't think it's real. It's highly unlikely that it has happened, and it's highly unlikely that it'll happen in our lifetimes, but it would be fucking awesome if it did happen, right? Speaking of aliens, Mark Zuckerberg, who is probably the closest thing that we have to a real out-and-about alien.
I like to get my predictions out, and so far every single time they've been wrong. Many of you may remember I made a video talking about Halo Infinite not being real. I made that video like 4 years ago or something when they first showed like the early trailer, then a year went by and they didn't show anything else, and then like 6 months went by and they showed like actual pre-alpha level footage, and I proclaimed that the game is probably not real and even close to being released, but then it came out like a year and a half later, so it looked like they did have it cooking in the oven, and unfortunately, you know how the story goes, they served it raw. It was missing like half of the game's overall content it was supposed to have, and then it remained in a completely barren wasteland of a state where they weren't adding or changing anything about it, and then they eventually just canceled a lot of the components, and well, it's actually a very sad story, the post-release of Halo Infinite. Good news though on that front, they're getting it together. Halo Infinite's made quite a few new updates that are actually pretty well received. I haven't personally tried them myself, but they do seem like quality updates. They finally got Forge in the game, like 2 years late, but they got it. Like, baby steps, damn it. They finally started adding some shit to the game, finally starting to turn it around. Maybe too little too late, but the point is, I'm way off topic now. Point is, they did at least start making improvements there. But I did make the prediction that it wasn't even real, which I was wrong about, and that to tie it all back to what I was saying. Point is, I'm bad at predictions. I usually get them wrong. This one I am very, very confident on. I don't think there is a world where Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk have a legitimate fight against each other. I do think there is a chance that they'll have some kind of really embarrassing, silly show match where it's clear that it's not a real fight. It's just some kind of scripted mess or some kind of very
why would that be
haphazardly thrown together disaster where neither person is really fighting. It's just like they're toying with each other and pretending it's...
I don't think either of these guys like one another. I don't think they would do a spectacle because the only reason why you would do that is to help Elon. And although as billionaires they do have the same class interests, they're also both, narcissistic, egomaniacal man babies in different ways. So, like, Elon stands to benefit the most from this being like a show match, and I don't think Zuckerberg would gain anything from that, really. Like, I don't think it's a win-win. Elon absolutely would allow that to happen. For those of you who are saying their egos would never allow it to happen. No, I think Elon would absolutely allow it to happen. I just don't think Zuck would do it.
It's a fight. Like, I'm talking CW level choreography of a fight. Like, I don't think they'll ever have a real one, but I do think there's a chance they'll have a fake fight against each other just to try and capitalize off the hype. But anyway, just wanted to get that out there. That's really about it. So, yeah.
Good video. We can't. Oh, here it is. Maybe DeSantis has a chance. Furries for Ron DeSantis. The furry community stands united with Governor Ron DeSantis in supporting anti-genitalia mutilation platform. I don't think that's real, but it's a very funny bit. Okay. So, oh, another error occurred while loading this image. Oh, by the way, this was also, I spent 3 hours in an MRI machine on Monday. Bottom line is that my C5, C6 fusion is solid, so not an issue, blah, 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 all this shit. It's bullshit. It's completely bullshit.